Mark Meldrum, Northern Ohio Chevelle Club, coming to you from the Jokinette studio today. And we got President Joe here, and we'd like to talk about some thoughts about this up-and-coming show and basically make some announcements here.
Yep. Hello, everybody. This is probably the second hardest thing we have had to do since becoming a club. The first one was to have the show to begin with.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
12, yeah. With $35 in our bank account.
Yeah, $35 in our bank account. So that was a tough pill to swallow, but we did it. But we're here today to announce with a heavy heart from the board and the membership of the Northern Ohio Chevelle Club that we have to cancel the show. I know it's a very tough pill to swallow with what's going on in business world, in our personal lives. I've lost my job over this. Mark is working his tail off to keep his job.
And my wife has lost her job, so it's been tough.
It's been really tough for a lot of us out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of us that are feeling the same pain as we are.
Even you business owners are probably feeling a lot less business.
Yep. Yeah. My wife is feeling the pinch with her business. But you know, it's a difficult situation for this club to have been put in because of all this that's going on. The state regulations in Ohio are tough because we have 350 to 400 people in a banquet. Mm-hmm. That's more than what the state will allow.
Yes. We
have a couple hundred people for Friday night dinner and our dance. That's like right at the border. We have my little gathering that we have on Wednesday night, which we've been doing 200 people for that. And that's right at the border of this.
And that's all based on today's regulations. And I know things will open up and things will change, but we've got to be able to plan today. Yep. And we wanted to give you guys enough notice to be able to cancel your hotel rooms and any other plans you may have gone through to get to Ohio.
And we've talked to the hotel. We were the last. We were one of the last groups to cancel, and they were kind of holding out that we'd still go ahead with it. But, you know, I wanted to have the show. I'll tell you that straight up. I wanted to have the show. But I have to do what's best for the club, best for the participants, and best for our families, not in any particular order. Family first. So we had to do this. Like I said, it was very difficult for me to do this, even to do this announcement. I'm getting a little wound up here.
One of the things, I know Joe wants to have the show, but as far as Pat and myself goes, we were lobbying pretty hard to cancel the show, mainly for family reasons. We've got a little one on the way. Our first grandchild's coming along, and that's going to be a very different experience. And our mother-to-be told us straight up, hey, if you're having the show, we're going to quarantine you from the baby for a couple weeks. And Pat and I said that's not going to happen.
Yeah. and the other thing, because we have people coming from 28 states and Canada, we're very worried about having all these different folks from all these different states congregating in one place. And as of right now, I don't think the Canadian folks can even get into the States.
Right. And we had over a dozen people coming from, a dozen cars coming from Canada. And so double that, at least 25 people coming from Canada.
Right. And the other thing, another point is that we put on a quality show for our participants. And I think if we went forward with the show with a lot of people probably not going to come.
Right.
It's not going to be, the expectations are great, but the product is not going to be that great.
No.
So we don't want to lose our momentum in putting on a great show for you guys, and because of this, and just to kind of be selfish to myself to have the show. We canceled our Littlest Heroes show, which is supposed to be this coming Saturday, June 1st, and that was tough to do, but we still made a monetary donation to the Littlest Heroes because they're struggling as well because all of their fundraisers have been canceled thus far this year. We are still going to make a donation to Toys for Tots. just because we promised to do that for them, and we're going to help them out. And that's just kind of the way this club is. We voted to do that. So if you want to call the Holiday Inn and cancel your reservations,
Yep.
That would be great. As far as the registration for the show, if you would like to roll it over, we're going to freeze the pricing from this year to next year. If you want to just roll your money over, please email us and let us know that you want to do that. Do not put it on Facebook. Do not put it anywhere there. Email us, or you could call myself or Mark.
No Facebook messaging. Please send it in an email to, and I'll put the email.
You'll put the email down here someplace.
n.ohio.chevelles@sbcglobal.net. If you didn't catch it, I'll put it down there. And that'll help us keep track. If we do not hear from you, we will reach out to you and call you.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of phone calls.
We've got close to 190 entrants right now. So it would put at ease on Joe, myself, Pat, and Jerry. We were going to split the list up and call everybody. But that would just kind of ease it up and make things go smoother. But like I say, if we don't hear from you, we will reach out to you.
And just to get a little bit more into this, we just got an email today that the Cruise and News out of Michigan had to fold their tent and close up.
Yeah.
And it's all because of all this monkey business that's going on with this. So these small businesses are really hurting, and they're having to close. Unfortunate,
Great organization. We have advertised in their magazine up in Michigan for years, and my heart goes out to Dana and the crew up there because I tell you, they have some fabulous artists that have worked with me on advertisements over the years. So yeah, that's tough.
Yep. And also, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors out there.
Absolutely.
That have still sent money in.
I've been getting sponsored checks on. Up until last week, Hinshaw's, and Frank Clark Agency. Yep. Thank you to Joe's wife, still sponsoring the show. But we'll roll their sponsorship and any vendor space over right over to next year.
Yep.
If they wish, if they want their money back, we'll send it back to them.
And we are going to keep the same theme, Christmas in July.
Yep.
Except the dates. Although the dates for next year are August 6th and 7th. 2021. So you could probably go ahead and reserve your room when you call to cancel.
First weekend in August. First full weekend in August.
We couldn't do it the prior weekend because they have a big wedding, and we would not be able to have the ballroom Saturday night, and that's not going to fly. Also, Dragway 42 is still going to be open Thursday, August 30th, for all you local folks that still want to race to do the test and tune. Gates open at 4. Entry is $20. No spectators, but all of your crew members that are in the car or with you are $15 a person. So I think that's their way of getting around it. But they're a great sponsor to us. So if me and Mark, we may go out there. We will probably go out there,
and it should be some fun. And you can. It's a great location. You can definitely keep socially distant apart.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of acres out there.
And then that weekend, Friday is the Rockin' Race, July 31st to the 2nd. If you look on their website, Mark will put their website down here too if you want to look on there and see their schedule. But like I said, this was a very tough decision. We didn't take this lightly.
No.
There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of meetings just between the board members, the board. And we apologize for any inconvenience for all you guys that we're looking forward to coming. But
I apologize if you think another survey is coming out. But I think we got enough information back from our survey, and our board felt pretty strong about canceling. So hey, you guys voted us in to make decisions like this, and we made a decision.
It was a tough one.
We probably had an hour-long meeting last week. We've been doing our board meetings on Zoom.
So, and for a guy that's computer stupid, I figured it out.
that was kind of fun last week, but anyway.
And you guys are in joking us right now. There's the project. I'm sure John Padgett recognizes that. That's the truck, the van that he found me. So that's what I've been working on. And my Comet was finished, so I had some winter projects. I got the Comet finished.
Yeah. I tell you, over at Meldrum's Monster Garage, I'm sure you've noticed I lost all momentum. Then, like I said, Joe said this earlier, I've been concentrating on keeping my job. So I've been working hard, trying to keep my job, and just not a lot of motivation out in the garage. But I finally started getting out there now that it's really warm weather. I don't want to be cooped up in the house.
Yep.
And just like Joe's out here spending time in the garage, I'm really kicking it into high gear. You'll see in this newsletter we're going to do some LS Motor stuff. Finally got that thing started up last night. God, I can't tell you how excited I was about that.
Yep. And I'm doing a motor swap in this, and it's going to stay the same. It's still going to be Rick's drain and septic cleaning.
I think you might be able to see a part of that up there, but I'll take a picture and I'll post it.
So, but anyway, like I said, we're apologizing for not having the show, but I think the majority of you folks will understand, especially a lot of the older folks to come.
Yeah.
We do have some of the folks that they're getting up there. They're almost as old as Mark.
And they have breathing problems. They're cancer survivors, and they have a lower immune system, and we're really concerned about you.
We're gonna give them the summer off.
Absolutely.
So, but everybody, thanks for supporting us through thick and thin, and everything that you guys do for us. We really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. From the board, myself, Jerry Lorkowski, the vice president, Mark, the secretary, and Pat Umstead, the treasurer. Thank you very much. Yep. And any questions, just send us an email because we don't want to clutter up Facebook with all this. We greatly appreciate it. And everybody have a great and safe summer.
Yeah, this month we'll be posting the whole newsletter. So I'll put a link to our YouTube, and you'll be able to see the whole newsletter this month. So you get to see Joe and I's explanation here and a bunch of other cool stuff.
And also, the new website is live. Go out there, check it out, look around. Give us any feedback on that. If there's anything you think we need or we left out or you want us to add, let us know. We could do some stuff with that. And thank you very much.
Yeah, that's about it.
You guys have a great summer. See ya.
See ya.
From the Mind of Jeff by Jeff Thompson.
Hello, Northern Ohio Chevelle Club. This is your old pal, Jeff Rena Thompson. Brought to you laying on my side. No, I'm not wearing a mask in my garage. But by the time you get a chance to hear my golden tones, you're going to have some news that you may not like. I know certainly I don't like, but that's just the way it is right now. But this is not why I brought you here today. I should have been a preacher. Oh, well. You see that little hole in my exhaust system that I got right there? Another one right there. That is where your O2 sensor goes to. Now, everybody knows I got an LS-based engine, and all these LS-based engines are, and this goes to you, Mark, since you're putting one together, and everybody else may or may not know how these sensors work. All LS-based engines are they work over oxygen, otherwise air coming in. Unlike a carbureted system where they're based on fuel, of course they need air to run as well, but LS has got a based fuel that they go, and these oxygen sensors, they tell you how much of that oxygen is left over. And then that is an O2 sensor. That will go into this hole after you put anti-seize on the threads, because if you do not put anti-seize in the threads, and by the time this engine cycles on and off a big bunch of times when you're driving them, and I know you guys and girls drive your cars a lot, but you try to get that O2 sensor out without anti-seize, and you're going to strip them threads plumb out of that puppy. So anyhow, as the oxygen exits the exhaust system, whatever spent gases are left, it tells the computer via 4 wires, 5 wires, it tells the computer just exactly how much oxygen is left in the system, and then by a formula that it uses, well, it's actually a volumetric efficiency formula, but it tells the computer what it needs as far as fuel wise. So then the computer alters ever how much the injectors are cycling, pulsating, whatever. But everything is dictated on oxygen, air entering or exiting the system. Now this is just the one sensor. You have on your new cars, you have many sensors: a NOCC sensor, MAP sensor, MAF sensor, lots of different sensors. These are the most important on my car. That actually goes to a wideband gauge. If you want to tune properly, I know you hear some of the old school, I know how to tune a carburetor, I can do this. I guarantee you tune a carburetor and then put an O2 sensor on it. If you got it close, you're lucky. But 9 times out of 10, you could really gather some horsepower by using O2 sensors. So anyhow, my goal this year, we're gonna, like I said, we're back to driving these puppies. I'm gonna go see a few people this year. I can't see them because, as you know, the show has been canceled at this point. So I'm gonna travel around and I'm gonna see a few people. I don't know who I'm gonna see or whatever, but you know me, I always go somewhere. So I hope everybody stays safe, and hope this COVID-19 leaves you alone, and we shall see you on the road, hopefully in the parking lot next year. So y'all stay healthy, and from the mind of Jeff, see you. Goodbye.
Hey, I thought I'd give you a little tour of Aquaman, since it's been quite a while since I did a videotape of everything on the car. But 66 Malibu I bought in Parma, Ohio last year. Of course, it had a little straight six cylinder, and we got it running good and ran it around the block, and everything was good on the car. I redid the interior last year, if you remember that. So we've got new seat covers. But the big project this year has been putting the LS motor in it. Okay, so there you can see we got the LS motor sitting in there. Okay, and I got this set up so I can simply get the cord out of the way. I can raise the body right up off of the frame right now. So that makes things easy to work on. All right, and we're left with the frame. And of course, I wanted to get this thing started up while it was on the frame. So you can see the frame's all nicely done. It's powder coated. This is a frame from another 66 Chevelle project, but I decided to use it since it was really nice. But I did put UMI rear suspension so I can change the pinion angle to match up with the driveline angle on the transmission. Okay, you can see I've got the exhaust on there. It's a MagnaFlow exhaust system, and we've got hooker headers on here. I guess they're cast headers, if you'd call them. This is a 2012 L99 motor. L99, same thing as an LS3, but it's got an automatic 6-speed with it. Okay. And back here, you see we've got a fuel tank, and now we have a fuel pump inside the tank. So that's where the fuel pressure comes out, runs up here to a little filter, and then right up into the engine. Okay, now, like I said, I wanted to start this thing up on the frame, so I knew everything worked right. So just to recap, I sent the computer out to SpearTech. So here's the computer. I plan on mounting that inside the engine compartment on the wheel well or under the fender. Yeah, spit it out, Mark. And then I've got a core support, a temporary core support on there right now. And you can see I've got a cold case radiator, and it's got a couple fans on it, dual fans. Okay, right now I have the intake from the 2012 Camaro because it's got the mass air flow sensor in there that I need to run the engine. So I've got a Holley oil tank on, oil tank. Yeah, spit it out, Mark. I'm having trouble this afternoon. I have a Holley oil pan, so we could get the correct frame clearance. And then over here on my little control center here, you can see I've got the gas pedal. I've got this little device hooked up to the OBD2 reader, okay? And it is feeding all the data via Wi-Fi right into my iPad. So I can see what the temperature of the engine is and make sure everything is running okay. And then of course Spear Tech also supplied me with a nice little fuse box too. So they make it so you just connect up a couple wires here. I'll show you the back here on my switch here. So it's pretty simple. You got the of course the power wire here. Purple wire goes to the starter. You got 12 volts over here connected up. That orange wire. Okay. I'm not going to get into all that. But it's pretty simple. That's what I wanted to show you. And of course you just turn it on. And okay, this is what they call fly-by-wire. Okay. And I've turned it on. The fuel pressure has come up. And then all I do is hit the button. Look at that. Starts right up. Comes right down to an idle of 650 RPM right away. I had a few problems initially. Had the power steering pump pulley wasn't on all the way, and I had a squeaky belt. But you can hear the fuel injectors clicking. Of course, you were with me when I put disc brakes on the car. We'll get the rest of that hooked up. But everything's looking pretty good. Give it a little rev here. Very responsive. Sounds good. So that's about it. You're up to date on the car. Next thing, we'll get some body mounts on this thing and start buttoning things up and get her out on the road. Yeah, right. Woohoo! Recently, I was contacted by a gentleman in Kansas City, and he wasn't able to come to Ohio to look at a 67 Chevelle, so he asked me if I could go look at it. And it was at a dealership, so I jumped in the truck, went down and checked it out, and here's some pictures I took of the car, and also some video. After looking at it, you know, they wanted $49,900 for the car, and it just wasn't worth the money. In my estimation, it would have been a buy probably in the mid-30s. But I thought I'd just share my analysis of the car with you guys. Here you go. All right, Bob, let's do a quick walk around. The trunk looks really nice. It does have the wrong floor mat in it, and it looks like it has lower patch panels in it because you can see the seam right here. Okay, you can see some work that was done up in that area. It's probably got a full trunk replacement, I would imagine. And I'll look at the jack in a second, but there's a nice original sticker there. And jacking instruction sticker, okay. Your tail lights, bumper, all look really nice. All the emblems look nice. Paint's really nice. Not sure if it's original color because it looks like it's got some extra stuff in it. But the hood has a little bit of a bow here. It sets pretty high. It inserts some spots through there, and then there's a little goober paint right there, and a little goober right there. All right, I can't see it right there, and it looks like somebody tried to sand this one out, but it's already coming back again. All right, and then on the front grille here, I saw this is, I don't know, kind of wavy. It's not perfect, but those are easy to replace. Headlights are not original. They're halogen headlights. And looks like the clock is original. I already took a little video of that. That's running right there. And then it looks like some AM/FM radio in here. All the controls. Looks like the dash was restored, and it looks really nice, but probably I would guess all aftermarket parts. Steering wheel. Like there's a little goober right there, but overall nice. Somebody definitely spent some time restoring the steering wheel. Door panels, very nice. Can't complain there. This center console has got a really shiny paint. That should be a lot flatter. Of course, the correct turbo 400. Looks like it's got 68,000. I'll just turn the key on slightly here. Nothing's going on. Oh, there we go. I don't know if they want me running it, but it did kick over there. But none of the lights came on, so let's see if we got blinkers here. There we go. We got a blinker in the tack. We got a blinker there. Go around to the back, make sure we got blinkers. All right, got a blinker working there. That's good. Got a blinker working here. Yes, we do. Very good. Was missing some ground straps on the motor. I only saw 1 out of 3. Let's turn the other blinker on here. And we're good there. And I'm going to turn the headlights on before we look at the front mirror. Okay. There we go. Headlights on, blinker working. For some reason, they look like they pointed awful high to me. I don't know. I'm going to reach in here and step on the high beams. The bright light indicator does come in. Come on. Excuse me. So there you go. Yeah, headlights all the way around. That's a good thing. All right. And we'll make sure we got lights in the back here. Yep, got lights in the back. Very good. Blinkers working. We got a light under the. This one's working. That's good. All right, no under the hood trunk lights there. I don't see many of these with lights. I'm going to stop the camera for a second, open the engine compartment. All right, these hood hinges are, boy, they're really tight. First thing I notice is this is not the correct cap, so probably looking at an aftermarket tank for the power steering. We've got high energy ignition, and it looks like a newer style radiator. Okay, or radiator, alternator. Okay, so that's not close to being original. Over here on the brake assembly, a lot of, I don't know, dirt corrosion on top of that. That doesn't look very original, but the wiper assembly looks fine and dandy. And of course we got the tube going through here for some type of oil meter. Doesn't look like an original radiator. And then this is one that always bugs me. People get the wrong rivets in here, or they put screws in there. Boy, that really bothers me. And up under the hood, they've got all the insulation pads in, so that's a nice. The air cleaner, probably not original. I didn't see a stamp on the underside. You got the wrong wing nut there. Air conditioning looks all intact, but you can see that we've got some really oddball, non-original battery cables. And then to me, the valve covers look like they're the higher ones that you can order. You can order some higher ones. That's what they look like, non-original. I don't see the, for the dripper rails, you'll usually see some type of a weld indent for the dripper rails. I don't see that. Missing a rubber there. Got one on that side. One thing I saw with the rubber when I opened this door was that it's kind of goobered up there. So no biggie. And then these little washers, boy, they're hard to find, and that's not an original lock assembly there. Looks like everything is replaced here. This is a lot higher than original, and a lot flatter. The original ones are shinier. These are really nice. Look like they've been replaced. So seats are pretty nice. It looks like I won't say wear, but the foam underneath, you can see that it's not as tight as it should be. This piping is not straight anymore on the seat bottom, but the seat back is nice. It's not real tight, but I can't see any rips or tears or anything. And then the back seat, it's the first time I'm looking at the back seat. Looks nice. All right. So we'll keep walking around here. These look good. Front glass is a replacement. You got the shade across the top there. And then the rear glass looks all original. And you can see light scratching throughout. The chrome piece around here is really nice. And I like the air conditioning sticker there. And of course I really like the Chevelle Club sticker there. National Chevelle Owners. Mark Meekum Days. So that's cool. Very cool. This paint is extra shiny. I don't see any dings or dents in the car. I haven't got underneath it yet. But overall, this is a driver car, not a show car. Yeah, you're not going to take this to MCACN, and I'm guessing it'd be a bronze car. I haven't tallied up my points, but just looking at things like the gas line, it's got a little rubber hose in there. This overall cleanliness of the motor is just average, so looks good. But I do love the paint on this, even though I found some flaws on it. The paint looks really nice, super shiny. Whoever did the detail work on this did a really nice job. You can't see any rub scratches or anything like that. So let me look at the tires and I'll keep going on my report.
And now it's time for another round of Mel's Musings with Melanie Bender.
7 little girls sitting in the back seat, hugging and a-kissing with Fred. I said, why don't one of you come up and sit beside me? And this is what the 7 girls said.
All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred. Dee-doo-dee-dum-dum, dee-doo-dee-dum-dum.
Drove through the town, drove through the country, showed 'em how go. I said, how do you like my triple carburetor? And one of them whispered low,
all together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the backseat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred. Dee-doody-dum-dum, dee-doody-dum-dum, dee-doody-dum-dum-dum.
7 little girls smooching in the backseat, everyone in love with Fred. I said, you don't need me, I'll get off at my house. And this is what the 7 girls said.
All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the backseat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred.
All of them in love with Fred,
Dee-doody-dum-dum,
kissing and a-hugging with Fred.
dee-doody-dum-dum.
Wish that I could be like Fred.
Meldrum, Northern Ohio Chevelle Club, and we're setting out in the garage this afternoon. Meldrum's Monster Garage, sponsored by Car Parts Warehouse. And as you can see, you got the 68 Malibu sitting behind me. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a new logo on the back end here. But it's not really new. We went over to Uncle Larry's and took it off the old 4-door that sits behind his barn. And that's a car that keeps giving and giving and giving. And it's really got a lot of parts cut out of it, but we keep getting things. So I know we talked about canceling the show, and I'm sorry about that, but it's time to move on. All right? But before I move on, I want to go over all the sponsors. Now, you sponsors, you have the option of rolling over your sponsorship to next year's show, or you can ask for a refund. Either way. But I am going to go through here and read all the sponsors. I mean, look at this. That's a nice thick piece of paper here that we got a lot of sponsors already in, and I'll just read over them. And with my sincere thank you and apology that we're not having the show this year, but like I said, we'll see you next year. And we make a wonderful show program. We put all our show sponsors and advertisers in there, and it's a really nice. It's got articles in there, and it really turns out nice, if I do say so myself. And so let's go over this. John and Jeannie Eady had sponsored the Young Guns Award and the Sleeper Award. BBR Mechanical Service Incorporated, Rich Simpkins. He had sponsored food and beverage, so thank you very much for that. We got Dave Crespin had sponsored the Best Chevelle and the top 5 awards for the top 50. Larry Richardson. Larry gave me a call a few weeks ago and said, I'm not going to make it up, Mark. It's just, and that led into some of the decisions, too. Some of our sponsors and our vendors were starting to back out, and Larry just didn't feel comfortable coming up to the show this year. So, and he had purchased 4 swap meet spots. So, got that. We got the Die Guy. Steve Chopko had sponsored quite a few things. He was an event sponsor, the Survivor sponsor. He put in a quarter-page ad. And, man, I can't thank you enough. So he wanted to picture the photo frame logo. He wanted his logo in the photo frame. So thanks a lot, Steve. I really appreciate that. And a lot of things, I got copies. That's why I'm flipping through here. Bob Inhofe had sponsored the Survivor Award. There's another copy. And I might list a couple of these twice. Bob Terry sponsored the U.S. Marines. He always sponsors the U.S. Marines, so thank you for sponsoring that award. Dave and Sue Hamilton, long list of things here they sponsored. And Dave and Sue also wrote me a nice email saying they did not feel comfortable coming to the show this year, and listed out all their explanations. They basically live in New York, and that's a hot zone for this COVID-19. So they had sponsored the food and beverage, the photo sponsor, best Malibu, top 55. I mean, there's probably some other things I'm missing here, but quite a bit of sponsorship there, and I really appreciate that from Dave and Sue. Rich Recupero had sponsored the a Kids' Choice Award, which was going to be new, so that was pretty cool. And I'm going to reach up here. My low battery came on. Hopefully we make it through here. So thank you again, Rich Recupero, with that new award. Terry and Dottie Bolyard had sponsored the U.S. Marines Award also. Thank you very much on that. Grant and Judy Yeater had sponsored the Best Paint Award. Ed and Kim Fisher had sponsored the Woohoo Award. Kim, Dad, I'm gonna miss you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do without seeing you guys this year. So, but we'll see you on the internet. Okay, let me zip through here a couple more copies. Let's see here. The Paddock, Stan Kryla, had sponsored the photo and a full-page ad. So thank you very much, Stan. I was looking forward to seeing you, my brother. He is a brother to me. God bless you. Akron Bearing, Aaron Angelo, thank you very much for sponsoring the People's Award and also a $100 half-page ad. So thank you very much on that. Robert Knotz, he wanted to come back and be in the swap meet area again. Grady Birch, sponsoring the Survivor Award. Thank you, Grady. Van Hurst, the Young Guns Awards. And Van is really, he wrote a note down here, and I'll read it to you. He's really shooting for a special award, and now that I got another year to work on it, maybe we can make this happen. If you decide to have some type of lifetime achievement award, so he's willing to pitch in for that. We're looking for guys that have been in this Chevelle restoration business for a lifetime and really have contributed and made people like me all the much better on restoring these Chevelles. I've met so many great people over the years, and your dad is one of the great guys I've met over the years, Van, and you too. And I learned so much from you guys talking to you and about the finer details of Chevelle restoration. I know this car isn't actually the finer details of Chevelle restoration because we're doing a LS swap on that, and I'll get into that later. But certainly when it comes to my 72 Chevelle convertible, a lot of original parts, and I wanted to go all original on that. And guys like you really helped me. So that's a great idea for an award, Lifetime Achievement Award. Boulder Performance, Scott Kinkoff. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but Boulder Performance was going to have a $50 quarter-page ad. Jim Hankey, Best Day 2 car. Jim, I always like seeing you. You're in the Chicago area, so hopefully I get to see you later this year in November at the Muscle Car and Corvette National Show. And Mike Merlot and Dan Vasic, another great duo, cousins there. Mike is in the Florida area, and of course Dan's in the Chicago area. These guys are top Chevelle restorers, absolutely, and they had sponsored the top 3 1969 Chevelles. And then Denver Guttrell, of course, Denver's Rare Finds had wanted a couple swap meet spaces, and Denver worked out at GM and Lordstown, and they had shut down that plant, so he had really been concentrating on his Chevelle business. James Fairchild coming out for a swap meet space also. Jim, I appreciate you coming out to the show. Always making the long haul from Mountainside, New Jersey. Crafty B, Beth Mills, she's one of our members, and she always has some cool crafts for the ladies. She was going to have a swap meet space. The Chevelle Club of Michigan, sponsoring the best engine compartment. Thank you, Chuck Finch and Tom Lassiter and the whole gang up there in Michigan. I'll miss you guys. You know I miss you guys. Hey, here's to you. I love drinking with you guys. Whew, need to wet my whistle anyway. I know I'm rambling, but put up with me. Rick Kidd had oh, that's a renewal form for your membership. Thank you, Rick. And I got an email from him wondering what's going on. So you'll get your answer today. Or, yeah, as you see, watch this newsletter. Tom Reitler started up a brand new business, Mid-Atlantic Muscle Cars, and I watch him on Facebook. He sponsored Most Likely to Evade. And I tell you, Tom, you're doing a great job. A lot of inspiration on my LS66 Chevelle came from you. On the car you built, Snow White. And I tell you, that was an awesome car. And I understand that is going to a new owner in Chicago. The Clark Agency, thank you, Colleen and Nikki and everybody that works at Clark Insurance Agency. Who knows? Maybe Joe will be working there pretty soon. But they sponsored the event T-shirt. And last one I think here is Hinshaw Chevelles had wanted to come to the show, Swap Meet Space. This is one of the last ads I got, or last sponsors I got, and they were going to come and sponsor a ad in the program, and also be there for the Swap Meet Space. Let me look real close here. I've also got a computer printout of this to make sure I didn't miss anybody. There's quite a few people we had been talking to that were going to sponsor the show. Of course, Don Sitz Auto, and I think they're still going to make a donation so that we can make a sizable donation to Toys for Tots, even though we're not running the show. Rick Nelson, we were talking to him. I think he was going to be back from Muscle Car Restoration and Design. Mike Ely, of course, with Great Lakes Fence. He's gone through a lot of hardships this year with the business, but we were looking forward to having him as a sponsor for the show again. And I think that's about it. Let me see here. Daniel McIntosh Books, Walmart of Oberlin, Rusted Tires, Dave Steinbuck Painting, Drummond Corporation, Wilson Antique Car Parts, Westside Auto Part, New England Chevelle Club, Hinshaw Chevelle, Milletti Optical, Chris White Concourse Concepts. They restored Joe Bertrand's car, helped him restore. I think Joe did most of the work there. And that's about it. And, of course, we always get miscellaneous donations from the Ohio Lottery, Luddy Chevelle, NPD, Eckler, Summit Racing, and the Monsters Hockey. So, hey, I just wanted to mention all the sponsors that we've had in the past and people that we were working with. Joe, myself, Donna Petrello. I mean, we were beating the bushes hard early in the year, and we were looking forward to getting quite a few more sponsors at the Cleveland Autorama. Of course, that got canceled by this whole fiasco, too. So, once again, thank you to all the sponsors. If I missed you, totally apologize. And we'll get a shout-out to you somehow in the near future. So, there you go. I took up too much of your time, but hopefully you got a few bits and pieces of information along the way. See ya! Courtney, it's going to get a little loud here, so I'll just announce this right off the bat. Welcome to the Courtney Cruise. I'm sorry we couldn't come all the way to your home, but we're here in Northern Ohio, and this will be the Northern Ohio Chevelle Club doing a cruise by for you. So hopefully you enjoy this. We wish you the best. We wish you the best at the hospital. The guys are going to be cruising through here real quick. And I hope everything just turns out just fine for you, sweetie. And just so you know, we're thinking of you and we wish the best for you. So here comes the gang. We're over here at the church. I can't drive, so there's my car sitting there. But they'll be cruising through here in just 1 second. Here you go. This is our President Joe.
Good luck, Courtney. We love you.
Good luck, Courtney!
Good luck, Courtney. Good luck, Courtney. You got it.
Have a nice day, Mike. See Kathy. Mike, Bob, good to see ya. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for coming out, John. Thanks for coming out, Dee. Loretta, got cameras all sides. Thanks for coming out, Sean. Christina. Got a real nice showing today. Got some new members. We got some members with Chevelles, without Chevelles. Anything they can find, they're driving. That's Steve. Here's Donna. Camera over there too. Wow, they're shooting at us. There's my son Josh, sending positive vibes just in case you can't. We can read it, yep. Oh, hopefully this camera angle got it too. I know it's the sun is real bright here, so it might have been a lot of shadows, but hopefully you got our message. See ya!